And good day. Welcome to Thanksgiving week edition of Weather and Climate Chat with Monsoon Mike Regensberger and Dr. Michael Davis. Dr. Davis, happy early Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
Yep. We're recording this on Monday the 21st, a couple days before the holiday break, and everybody's looking forward to that, and everybody, I'm sure, will be eager to see what we're going to say about this coming week. First, until we get there, we got to address where we've been, and I will say that Saturday, in my many years of weather watching, probably was one of the more dramatic turnarounds that I've seen with temperatures in the mid-60s ending with sleet and grapple at the end of the day.
Yeah, we had a very strong cold front come through from a low-pressure system that was going north of the Great Lakes. That's the one that produced the blizzard warnings and blizzard conditions in Minnesota and the Dakotas.
Right.
And when it came through, it pretty much knocked our temperatures down 30, 40 degrees.
Dramatically.
So we got near 70 during the day on Saturday, but then got into low 30s Saturday night, and that's when some areas got even a little dusting of snow around here.
It was a very dramatic cold front. It wasn't one of those, gradual filtering in of the cold air. We're talking that 3 o'clock I was carrying in the groceries and almost sweating. 4 o'clock, the sky got black and wind started blowing like crazy. By 5 and 6 o'clock, temperatures were falling into the 40s. And by 7, 8 o'clock, I was seeing some sleet, grapple, whatever you want to call it.
Frozen precipitation.
Frozen precipitation of some sort. So that was definitely one of the more dramatic turnarounds I've seen in a course of about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive temperature change and complete change in weather conditions that you could get from a cold front associated with our mid-latitude cyclone.
But you have to expect that because 70 degrees in the latter half of November was about 15, 20 degrees above normal. So we were due for this.
Yeah, definitely very unseasonably warm temperatures.
Yes. Now, the big story the past couple of days, and will remain so at least until tomorrow, although we do lose a couple of miles per hour each day that goes by, has been this crazy wind. Why so windy, Dr. Davis?
The pressure gradient force has been very tight around this low pressure system that passed through.
Yep.
When you had a very sharp change in temperature like we had, chances are you're going to have a very wound up low pressure system with that very sharp temperature gradient, which also will factor into your pressure gradient, and you get these strong winds. And since we're on the backside of low right now, it's a very strong north wind and giving temperatures going down quite substantially and making it rather chilly outside.
So this is like one of the first times this young late fall, early winter season that we can start using the word wind chills.
Yes, today would be a good day for that.
Yeah.
And meteorological winter starts next week.
Right, December 1st. So that'll be here before you know it, and we'll be using that term probably much more frequently. But temperature-wise, really, the temperatures that we're at now, the wind is making it feel much colder than it is. But really, the temperatures are not that much below normal. They're a little bit below normal, maybe 5 or so degrees. But I think we've just gotten very spoiled with this fall of these swings of up near 70. And when we get something like this, it feels all the worse.
Yeah, we're pretty acclimated to all that warmth from summer and the residual warmth in the fall. So then when you get this shot of cold air, it kind of hits you right to the bone.
Yep. Now, there will be some moderation. It looks like that pressure gradient relaxes a little bit Tuesday. And by Tuesday night, I'm looking, it should be more in the way of just seasonal breezes going on.
Yeah, when we have the high pressure move in from the Great Lakes, it should start to decrease the pressure gradient force as the high pressure moves in and also as the low pressure moves away.
So for anybody traveling, I know some folks are already kicking off their travels. Some people travel Tuesday. A lot of people travel Wednesday. Both days look okay. Still will be a little bit windy Tuesday. Wind relaxes Wednesday, but both days look basically dry for the most part, unless you're heading west, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Yes.
We're going to be having a low pressure system that'll cut up near the Great Lakes around early Thanksgiving morning. And some models, including the GFS, indicate that there could be some a light mix of frozen precipitation, especially in northern regions, very late Wednesday night into early Thanksgiving morning. So if you were going to be planning to travel, like up along the I-80 corridor of Pennsylvania.
Like me.
Like you. And you're going to be traveling midnight-ish, 1, 2 in the morning.
Like me.
Like you. Man, you got some bad luck. You could run into some potentially icy weather, that night. So if possible, we would recommend that you might want to get your traveling done on Wednesday to get to your destination. But if you can't do that, obviously, be careful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, low pressure coming in the Great Lakes. It's going to not be as strong as the last one, but
right.
It will have a little bit of a temperature gradient to it, so you're going to have some rain, possibly some snow and some freezing rain.
Now, it doesn't look like it's going to be a disaster of a Thanksgiving because things do warm up throughout the day Thanksgiving, back into the 40s. Any of that frozen precipitation to the north should change to rain. And Thursday might not be the sunniest, prettiest of Thanksgivings, but it should be tolerable.
I think the morning might have some residual showers. But then by the afternoon, evening, we should start to dry out.
Okay. Now, the other big day that everybody looks forward to, as soon as the turkey is done digesting, they're waiting on Black Friday lines, and Friday looks okay.
Or Thanksgiving evening.
Or Thanksgiving. What am I talking about? who waits till Black Friday anymore? That's so 1990-ish of me. Yes.
But Black Friday, as we know,
looks okay.
Looks okay, yeah.
Looks okay. Could be another round of showers. This one looks all liquid. Maybe late Friday, early Saturday-ish, but mainly liquid, and temperatures around seasonal. So we're getting into, it looks like a pattern of average temperatures, nothing too much either way.
Yeah, we'll be back to about seasonal temperatures. Not to worry too much about wide swings in temperatures. Probably be looking at like mid-upper 40s for the next couple days.
Now, I didn't check the National Weather Service's Climate Prediction Center because you and I both always like to look at their 6 to 10 and their 8 to 14 day outlooks. So 6 to 10 day outlook, we're normal, pretty much normal, equal chances. Looks like the center part of the country, if you're going to be doing any Thanksgiving traveling in the Chicago, St. Louis, that area, be more on the milder side for the next week or so. But for us, finally,
slight chance out on the West Coast too.
Yeah, slight chance out on the West Coast too. But looks like for us, basically normal temperatures, which is something we haven't really.
A little bit below average too, up in Alaska there.
Yeah.
So if you're flying up to Alaska.
So if you're going to Alaska for Thanksgiving, get ready for that. And then let's see, where's the 8 to 14 day? Where are you? Oh, it's here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Shifts a
little east, so we might slight chance of above normal temperatures, but nothing too dramatic. We see a pool of below normal temperatures taking over the West Coast. So anywhere from Washington straight down to the western tip of Texas, looking like below normal temperatures from November 28th to December 4th.
Yep.
Is that a sign of what could happen to us maybe a week or two after that?
That could just be more of what's known as the PNA, the Pacific North American Oscillation, which typically you want to look for more in the wintertime season.
Right.
But this is a reversal of that. Typically you have warmer conditions out in the west, colder conditions in the east because you have a ridge building up across the Rockies because the wind shifts as it encounters the topographic features of the Rockies and then dips down in the form of a trough in the east. That's why we get those cold air outbreaks, specifically over the Great Lakes. So it kind of looks like a reversal to me.
Okay.
But
precipitation-wise, 8 to 14 days, could be a little bit above normal precipitation-wise. And
we do have a whole series of low pressures that are going to be cycling through.
So it could be
2-week period.
6 to 10 days. It looks like we're normal precipitation, maybe even a little below. But once we get to the 8 to 14 day, definitely more on the above normal side of things. And we always like to check our good old friends at AccuWeather and see what their long range forecast has. And I'm still diligently keeping track of that forecast that I printed back in August.
And they may have found a gold nugget there.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? We joked about this way back in August when they issued their 90-day forecast that they said a little bit of ice on Thanksgiving morning, and we could have a little bit of ice.
We could have a little bit of ice.
So, wow, yeah. Funny thing that was for us on Thanksgiving Day proper, or for this particular area, it has cloudy with a touch of rain. But I'm assuming if you put in a zip code further north, like Scranton or something, they might show a little bit of ice. Temperature-wise, fairly average, maybe a little above average this weekend.
They're calling for low 50s.
Yeah, so we should be in our average, historic average or high this time of year, upper 40s to low 50s, and they're calling for 52 Friday, 53 Saturday, 50 Sunday, 50 Monday, even 54 Tuesday. We'll see if that holds true.
It could be consistent with what we saw with the shift eastward and the warmer temperatures from the Climate Prediction Center.
Right, and then it looks like after that it's fairly average, and let's see what they're looking at into December. I remember this showing up a couple of weeks ago where that first full week of December looked fairly active, and that's still there. They still got rain on the 5th and rain on the 7th and rain and snow showers on the 8th. We'll see if that holds true. Christmas right now, 32 degrees with periods of clouds and sun. So definitely not the 70 degrees of last Christmas. We'll see if that holds true. So, basically it looks like a fairly average next couple of weeks, maybe a little bit above average, nothing too extreme either way. So we'll see where that goes. Wanted to briefly touch on a topic before we let you go on this very busy week. Got a new satellite in the sky.
Yes, the GOES-R was launched on Saturday.
Okay.
It's going to be giving us a lot of high-resolution weather data that will be used for improvements in weather analysis and weather forecasting. It's going to be looking at a lot of precipitation, so like liquid rain, snow, lightning, flash density. Going to be looking at severe weather, going to be looking at cloud coverage, and we can get them all in about 5-minute intervals worth of data in this high-resolution model. And we can even up it to 30 seconds of time between each observation. So we'll be getting a lot more robust, well-defined data that we can use from our $1.2 billion satellite that's up there.
I guess you better for that money. I saw the media, of course, they like jumping on buzzwords and, things that'll, get people's attention. And I saw one of the headlines this weekend is that as early as right now, immediately, you might see your weather forecast accuracy improve. Is that a kind of a too bold of a statement, or will we actually see maybe some accuracy improve from this thing?
Well, that's the ultimate goal, is to actually get more refined, better forecasting out of the GOES-R.
Right.
And I do think it's capable of that. It might take some time to actually start to augment what we actually get from the satellite into our forecast, but I would definitely say that that's not a bold statement.
So this might be very handy to have for the coming winter season.
Yes, it would be.
Okay.
Especially when you start talking about like localized features of like lake effect snow, for instance. We don't really know that much about how to forecast it because it happens on such a small scale.
Right.
And the temperature and moisture levels are going to be quite important. So usually weather models have a difficult time resolving that feature, which could basically pound some region with heavy snowfall.
Okay, so that's something to look forward to for the wintertime season. Definitely.
Like upstate New York
upstate
now.
New York.
We're supposed to get about 2 feet of snow from this lake effect event that's happening right now.
And for this time of year, that's fairly average. We can start to expect that kind of stuff.
Average.
If I remember correctly, last year was the opposite extreme, where they had nothing up there this time of year, and people were saying that they hadn't seen a snowless November up there ever or in recent history. So
they have a foot of snow over by the western part of New York, like around Buffalo.
So at least this winter's setting up maybe to be a little more on the average side.
Yeah, so far it's looking that way, as opposed to like 30 inches that we got in one shot.
And that was in and out, and that was it. So, I would take a more average winter over last winter, even though that 30 inches was fun in the one shot.
So. It was fun for people that didn't have to shovel.
Right, exactly. Even my youngest daughter, when I still remember that day clearly, she walked outside because she had been crying to me all winter that there was nothing going on, and then we get all the snow, and she's like, this is almost too much. I complained that we had nothing, and now this is like, I can't even play in this. It's too high. So,
you can create tunnels.
Yeah, so at least it was, we got it all done. Okay, well, we're approaching 15 minutes. We'll just recap what we said. Wind dies down Tuesday. Watch out for that potential wintry mix, especially north of the area. Very late Wednesday night into early Thanksgiving morning. Be careful on the roads, Dr. Davis, as you head out to your family.
You too.
Yep. Well, I'm staying local, so it really won't affect me much. So.
And I'm just looking out the window right now, and I'm seeing breaks in the clouds, so that's indicating a lot of drier air moving in. So it should be eroding away the cloud deck, so should get some more peaks of sunshine.
Good.
At least later today.
Good. And then Black Friday, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, after any mix, we get some regular rain showers, so your turkey plan should be okay. Black Friday looks fine. Could be some showers late Friday into Saturday, and fairly average weather beyond that. So have a very good Thanksgiving, Dr. Davis.
You too.
All right, and we'll see you, I guess we'll record one next week. We'll see. We'll see how it goes for both of us.
See how it goes.
All right, have a good holiday.